Is Mrs. Palmer not home? Did she faint? I broke into the house to help my neighbor, but all I found was a pile of clothes. Phew, it's not her.
You're in big trouble, girlie.
Hi, I'm Miranda. I grew up in the U.S. suburbs with my mom, dad, and 4 brothers. We were nosy and at times a bit uncouth. Joe and Bobby were older than me. They were total slackers. My younger brothers were twins. Those 2 were little devils. I was tired of living with my obnoxious brothers and wished I had a sister I could share my secrets with. Since that was something I could only dream about, I spent a lot of time with our neighbor, Mrs. Palmer, instead. She used to be a famous actress and loved to show off the expensive jewelry her fans had given her. I bet you were a heartbreaker.
Oh, I still am. Oh, where have all the cookies gone?
We just ate them, remember? As she got older, Miss Palmer started to have memory problems. I tried to look after her. One day, a new family moved into the house next door. The Hills looked like they stepped out of a Hollywood movie. The 2 sisters, Dior and Francesca, lived up to their fancy names. Their father was a successful businessman, and their mom was gorgeous and dressed her poodle in designer clothes. Their family is perfect. Joe and Bobby fell instantly for the cute sisters, but I quickly brought my brothers back down to earth. Quit drooling, guys. Girls like that wouldn't look at you twice. You think we aren't good enough for Dior and Francesca? They're a bit out of your league, yeah. My older brothers took offense to that. Meanwhile, my younger brothers decided to give our new neighbors a warm welcome. Attack! On the count of 1, 2, 3!
You brats!
I'm sorry about my brothers.
Do you have any idea how much my suit cost?
Honey, don't be mad at the boys. Besides, this young lady has already took care of the stain. What's your name, dear? I'm Miranda, ma'am. You are very pretty, Miranda. After that, my whole family came over to greet the Hills. I wanted to sink through the floor when Bobby and Joe started to hit on Dior and Francesca like morons, and Dad held out his oil-covered hand to Mr. Hill.
Did you girls fall from heaven? Because you look like angels.
Stop it! You look dumb.
Welcome to the neighborhood. With neighbors like you, it's clear why we got our country house so cheap.
Darling, don't be like that. We should invite these nice people over for a barbecue. Mr. Hill gritted his teeth, but listened to his wife. When we returned home, I begged my family to stop embarrassing me. Please mind your manners. I really want Francesca and Dior to like me. Don't worry, Miranda. We'll act like aristocrats. I found that hard to believe, but I still went to my room to get ready for the party. However, I quickly realized that I had absolutely nothing to wear. I know. I'll borrow a brooch from Miss Palmer. It will make me look like $1,000,000. Instead of the old lady, a handsome but sketchy-looking guy opened the door for me.
What is it?
I'm here to see Miss Palmer.
She's at a spa resort.
And you are?
Dale, her nephew.
Miss Palmer never told me about you. When will she be back? He slammed the door in my face without a word. The nerve of him! That evening, I went to the barbecue at the Hills house with my family. The house was as gorgeous as the people living in it. Dior and I hung out, and it seemed like she enjoyed my company. Unfortunately, my family ruined everything. The twins broke the fountain sculpture, my parents washed their hands in the pool, and Bobby and Joe decided there was nothing wrong with throwing trash on the flower beds. Zoo monkeys have better manners than you. You've embarrassed me again. I wanted to sink through the floor. As I was running to my room, something strange caught my eye. Dale left Miss Palmer's house and put something human-shaped into the back of a pickup truck. I immediately got on my bike and followed Dale's car. Soon, we arrived at a dump. Dale threw whatever was in the back of his truck out and drove away. I held my breath as I made my way to the human-shaped bundle. Disturbing thoughts spun through my mind. It's just a mannequin. Wait, what's this? Miss Palmer's clothes? Why would Dale throw away his aunt's stuff? Where is my neighbor? On the way back, I stopped by the sheriff's office and told him about the suspicious disappearance of Miss Palmer.
Miranda, she's an adult and doesn't have to report to you when she goes somewhere.
Sir, there's a guy living in Miss Palmer's house who pretends to be her nephew. I have a bad feeling about this. Can you look into it?
Without serious evidence, I have no right to do that.
I'm telling you, there's something wrong about that Dale.
Don't teach me how to do my my job.
Ugh, you're useless! When my family returned from the party, I tried to tell them about my worries, but they ignored me. Why are you so quiet?
We wouldn't want to say something wrong and disappoint you again. After all, we are just uncouth savages.
So that's what this is all about? Are you mad at me for what I said at the barbecue?
Go talk to the zoo monkeys. You're too good to hang out with the likes of us.
Ugh, why would they act like that? I hadn't said anything wrong. Whatever. Since neither the sheriff nor my family wanted to help me, I would handle everything on my own. The next morning, I knocked on Miss Palmer's door again. No one answered. So I stuck my head through the pet door and saw something that made me break the window and climb inside. Phew, it's not her.
You're in trouble now, girlie. Trespassing is a serious crime.
Dale? You idiot! You scared me to death!
Why are you here again?
I wanted to find out where Miss Palmer is gone.
I told you, she's at a resort.
Why would I believe you? You look like a psycho.
And you look like a huge pain in my butt. Whatever, I'll prove it to you.
Miss Palmer was not great with technology and did not even have a phone. So Dale called the resort reception and asked them to hand the phone to Miss Palmer, who reassured me that she was fine. I'm sorry for bothering you. It's just that your nephew was acting kind of suspicious.
My nephew? What nephew?
The one living in your house. I didn't hear Miss Palmer's answer because Dale snatched the phone out of my hands and hung up.
Now get lost, I'm tired of you.
You're hiding something. I'll convince the sheriff to find out who you really are.
Go ahead, I don't care.
He put his arm around my shoulders and all but shoved me onto the porch. Even though I now knew my neighbor was fine, I still didn't trust Dale one bit. My family still refused to talk to me. My parents only said they were leaving town for a couple of days to visit a fair in the nearby town.
Yay, let's throw a party and invite Francesca and Dior.
I was about to head to the sheriff's office again, but to my surprise, he found me first.
Miranda, I know your brothers are quite the troublemakers, but I did not expect you to pull a stunt like that.
What are you accusing me of?
Last night, someone spray painted the sheriff is stupid on the wall of the station.
You think I did that because you refused to help me?
No, I think you did that because I found this at the crime scene.
My pendant? I always wear it around my neck. I wonder when I lost it. I remember Dale putting his arm around my shoulders. Could he have stole the pendant to frame me back then? Check the surveillance footage and you'll see I didn't do it.
The cameras aren't working. Keep working. By the way, this is only the first part of your punishment. I'm putting you under house arrest for a week for your little prank.
What? You have no right to do that without a trial. That's illegal.
I'm the law here. Or do you want your parents to be fined?
My family was already struggling, so I had no choice but to listen to the sheriff. He wanted to put a tracking bracelet on my ankle, but we didn't have such expensive equipment in our small town, so all I had to do was stay at home and out of the sheriff's sight. That evening, my brothers threw a party. At some point, I heard a familiar voice coming from the living room. Dior? Are you seriously playing spin the bottle with my brothers? That's so dumb.
Get lost and let us have fun, Miranda.
I went back to my room. A couple of minutes later, Mr. Hill burst into our house and dragged Dior home.
My daughter shouldn't spend time with rude boys like them. Did you tell him Dior was hanging out with us? I was so close to kissing her.
I swear I didn't do anything.
Nobody believes you, sis. Guys, I think we should teach Miranda a lesson.
My brothers were on a warpath over the next 2 days. They turned my life into a living hell. No matter where I went, there were traps waiting for me all around the house. They replaced my toothpaste with mustard and put a toy snake in my bed. When I was drawing a bath, they turned on hot water while I was distracted. Ah, it's too hot! Because of the sheriff's punishment, I couldn't leave the house and was essentially locked up with my crazy brothers. When our parents returned, I complained to them, but they said I could only blame myself.
You hurt your loved ones first. Did you ever think about that?
No one in this house cares about my feelings. I burst into tears and ran into the yard. Then I heard someone sobbing behind the fence. Dior, what's wrong? I'm sick of my family. Are you kidding me? They're perfect. If you live with my family, you'd know how good you have it. How about we swap places? You could live in my house while I live in yours. Well, the sheriff put me under house arrest, but he did not specify which house I was supposed to be staying. I decided it was worth the risk. Our parents agreed to the experiment because they wanted to teach us a lesson. Dior and I switched families until the end of the week. When I moved in with the Hills, I thought I would get the kind of life I'd always dreamed of, but things went downhill almost immediately. I looked like Shrek. Francesca, why did you do that? I usually bully Dior, but since she's gone, you'll do. What? I thought you were best friends. Friends? I've never heard anything dumber. Next, I was surprised by Miss Hill's behavior. Whenever I'd seen her, she'd always been sweet and friendly, but now she seemed to have lost her mind. In a fit of anger, she started to break all the furniture in the house. She only calmed down after Mr. Hill gave her some pills to drink. What's wrong with your wife? What were those pills?
Keep your nose out of it. It's none of your business.
Mr. Hill went ballistic when he saw Francesca lying on the couch couch.
You've been slacking off for 5 minutes now. Go practice the violin. Or do you want to be a loser like Miranda's family?
No, Daddy.
After living with those pathetic people, Dior will finally learn to appreciate everything she has.
Hold on a second. Did you just call my family pathetic losers?
They're a bunch of nobodies.
Don't you dare say that! My family might not be rich, but at least we love each other. Unlike you lot, you're just rich scumbags who think they're better than everyone else. It was the last day of my punishment. I was over the moon when I came back home. Dior had a great time with my family. Thank you for letting me stay with your family. They've been very kind. My dad doesn't even let my sister and me go outside without makeup. He says we must always look perfect. I'm sorry. I didn't know Francesca is so terrible. It's not her fault. Dad made us compete with each other ever since we were kids. She's only acting like that because she doesn't know any better. What about your mom? Her mood swings are so rapid. My mom has split personality disorder, but Dad won't let her see a psychiatrist because he's afraid it would ruin our family's reputation. Instead, he gives Mom sedatives to keep her quiet and compliant. I'm so sorry, Dior. Your father is a monster. I know. As soon as I leave for college, I'll break off all contact with him, but I should go home now, or he'll get mad. See you around. Dior laughed, and I apologized to my family for all the things I said to them. You're the best. I wouldn't trade you for everyone. We're so glad you realized that, Miranda. We let you stay with the Hills to help you understand that sometimes grass is greener because it's artificial. Now I know that not all that glitter is gold. My brothers apologized for their pranks, and we all made up. That evening, the sheriff knocked on our door.
Miranda, I would like to apologize. The surveillance cameras have been fixed, and I saw you drop your pendant by accident. As for the graffiti, it was drawn by a local troublemaker, and I've already punished them.
Dale hadn't tried to frame me. But who was he? I finally convinced the sheriff to pay Dale a visit and find out. I knew there was something fishy going on here. Sheriff, he sent Miss Palmer to a spa resort to steal her jewelry.
Son, you're going to have to come to the station with me.
What are you accusing my nephew of? I asked him to throw some old junk out while I was at a spa. Dale was just helping me clean my jewelry. But when we spoke on the phone, you acted like you didn't have a nephew. Oh, you know about my memory problems, Susie. Susie? My name is Miranda. Sorry, it slipped my mind again. It's okay. I should have realized it was just a misunderstanding. Dale, I'm sorry I thought you were a criminal.
Yeah, it was pretty annoying, but I'm glad my aunt has such a vigilant neighbor. With you around, I know she's safe. Maybe next time I come here, we could start over.
Sounds good.
See you later then, Miss Busybody.
I suddenly heard shouts come from the Hills house. Do you think I should ask the sheriff to check up on them? Or is it none of my business? In any case, I've realized that I don't envy Dior at all. My family might not be perfect, but I like it the way it is.